Your broadcast is live.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Here we go.
But I still don't see anyone.
I don't either.
Oh, I gotta remove the.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Hold on.
Whoa.
There we are. Everybody's there. Here we are.
All right.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
We can move things around here.
Whoa. That keeps moving on me. Ah. It's like, what the fudge? Yeah. Trying to keep the explicit away, I guess.
Oh, man.
Can't promise that.
Yeah.
Oh, did Dave show up without his pants on?
No, I've actually got Cookie Monster pants on. I'm not even joking.
Oh, show us. Now that we got the video.
Oh, man. Well,
Oh my gosh, he
that's how you
does.
want to start an episode.
Whoa!
Well, it's all about feeling. It's all about feeling good, right, fellas? So I guess we start out with the what is that? Cookie Monster? What is that? What is it? What are
That was Cookie Monster.
jammies? Cookie Monster jammies.
Now-
There you go. That's how you're gonna do it.
Are we gonna get to see him eat a cookie or?
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah. That's how you start.
That's all
a
the
show, I
rage.
guess.
That's all the rage in the German clubs, you know.
Oh man.
All right. So we're gearing up for a new show. This is new, you know, streaming these videos for us. That's a new thing. The podcast isn't new. We're glad you're enjoying the videos out there. It looks like the fans are digging these full videos on Facebook. I don't know. We'll keep doing them, I guess. If people keep watching, we'll keep doing them. So we're starting this month off. We're kicking off some feel-good movie tours. And it's all about feeling good while you're watching movies and a movie that makes you feel good. And the audience can watch along at home. What qualifies as a feel-good movie? A feel-good movie is a film that presents people or life in a way which makes the people who watch it feel happy and optimistic. Now, before we talk about the hunt for the wilder people, let's go to our home video headlines and see what people have heard about in movie and TV news. Dave, what have you heard? What are the headlines, brother?
Well, movie theaters are getting grimmer. Looks like Disney pushed back 2 more big releases for this year. Death on the Nile and Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds about he's in a video game. So those are supposed to be 2 big releases for this year that are not going to come out again.
Oh, man.
So it keeps getting worse and worse.
It does. Oh.
You know, you heard me say the month is about feeling good, right?
Well, yeah, our
So
picks are to make us feel good.
No, but I'm saying,
You never
our
said the news.
Come on, like, well, something should be positive, right?
I
mean,
didn't
we're
bring in
headed
the worst
holidays
news
here.
of the week. So,
Oh.
you know.
Oh, I know.
Well, I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on that one, but we're not going to talk about that because that's not the show.
Oh, I was
I was
talking about
Alex
I was
Trebek,
talking about
yeah.
the mustachioed Canadian.
Oh.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
whatever,
Alex Trebek.
whatever.
Alex
Oh,
Trebek, too.
Trebek, yeah. You know what you do is just get like who's the top prize winner on Jeopardy, like whoever that guy is, or gal, or whoever that person is should be like the next host of New Jeopardy or whatever. If they can, I don't know, are they still doing Jeopardy? Like after
Yeah,
Trebek?
they
Like,
still
yeah. I don't know
I
who's
didn't know
hosting
that.
it, but yeah.
Cookie Monster's hosting. Adam, you got any TV news, movie stuff that's
Man,
exciting?
I had news, but it was bad and it's been covered. So
Wow.
yeah,
Downers.
so I'm
Downers right away.
rushing. No, I'm rushing to find something happy, and I'm not finding it. So
Sure.
like go to the next guy.
What about Christian Slater, who's dressed as a dinosaur tonight? What do you got for us, Christian?
Hey, it's Christian Slater here today. How you guys doing? And Dinosaur Slater. Arr!
Yeah. Sorry.
Nikki Lates.
Wow,
if you need a pick
solid.
me up, Nikki Lates' impersonation of Christian Slater is always good.
Ah.
Come get me, Slater. I'm here. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Tonight's movie was, of course, The Hunt for the Wilder People.
I never got to say my news.
Oh, you didn't do the news. Well, it was so overwhelming. The Christian Slater.
I
moment.
distracted you. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, my
totally.
news is good for Christopher Nolan, right? But bad for studios. So I read an article where Christopher Nolan's actually really happy that Tenet did $300 million in this climate, and he says everyone's kind of got to get used to this climate of movies going.
Making less money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
for Christopher Nolan, he's stoked. So it wasn't all bad news, I guess. I'm sure the studio wasn't happy, but yeah.
Now, how could that guy have a bad day? Like, he keeps getting to make movies, and he keeps getting to make weirder and weirder movies. You know what I mean? He's an auteur that keeps getting paid to do some random weird shit. Did you guys like his dream movie? Did you see his movie about the dreams? What was that movie called, Dave?
Inception?
Yeah, Inception. Did you guys see that one?
Oh, of course. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Where you watch the little dreidel thing that just keeps spinning.
And you're like, was it that, or is it? Yeah.
So many people were pissed off that year at that movie. Like, I want to know. I'm like, can't you have some mystery?
It's just like Total Recall. We'll never find out if it was recall or if it was real, and that's okay. Yeah.
So anyway, tonight's movie. Tonight's movie is The Hunt for the Wilder People. Let me see if I can try to describe this movie. A boy named Ricky Baker, played by the kid from Deadpool 2, Justin Dennison, and his foster dad, played by Sam Neill. You might remember playing Merlin or playing the crazy doctor that gets possessed in Event Horizon. Plus, he's a doctor in Jurassic Park. They become the subject of a manhunt after they get stranded in the New Zealand wilderness, which the locals call it the bush. We can go right into first impressions. I don't think there's a lot of meat on the bones of this one to stand up for a 45-minute show, but we'll find out. We'll see where we can get to with this one. So first impressions of this movie. Let's kick it over to our friend the dinosaur. What are your first impressions, Nikki Lates, of I thought you have a dinosaur nickname. I should have asked that. Anyway.
Speaking of dinosaurs, we have Sam Neill in this movie, which is great. Which I was a dinosaur extra in that movie. But I thought my first impressions I really loved Sam Neill in this. I think just like last week with Gun Ho of seeing Michael Keane, I thought in this movie he really stole the show too. I forgot what a good actor he was.
Okay, fair enough. Dave, what are your first impressions?
I saw this a year or two ago, and my first impression was, thank God there's a movie where the kid's not precious. He's kind of an asshole, but you still kind of like him. I don't know. That's just kind of a thing in movies I hate, when kids are so precious, or gee Williker, and this, like, the kid's an asshole, but
I mean, is he an asshole, or does he just seem like a real kid? Like a real.
Well,
dude?
I mean, I think that's kind of the point. I mean, we're saying the same thing in different ways. I mean, yeah, he's like a real kid. Like that's how kids are.
But he also reminds me of the male Precious. If you want to talk about Precious from that other movie, also based on the book Pushed by a Sapphire. Okay. So for Double A, what are your first impressions of this movie?
I didn't know what I was going to get into, and it caught me with the music at the very beginning, and I knew I was in for an amazing adventure.
You're not going to mention that you're the one who You're not going to mention you're the one who nominated it, right?
Well, am I supposed to nominate it? Like,
no, I mean,
I love this movie.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So my first impressions, not great. However, since it was in my recently played playlist on Netflix, my 11-year-old turned it on and seemed to really love it. So I guess it's a feel good for little kids. They're into that shit. He started watching it. Was into the gangster bush life. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Only the grumpy don't like this.
Only the grumpy?
Yeah, only the grumpy.
Okay. Well,
that's gonna be John's memoir when he gets really old. It's like only the grumpy.
Only the grumpy.
No, who's that guy that sat in the armchair? I don't want to be associated with him because of the racism, but Archie Bunker, he was on a famous sitcom back in the 70s. He was always grouchy, right? What was that show? Yeah. It was
All in the Family.
All in the Family. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna take a brief word from our sponsor here tonight. We're brought to you by CuriosityStream. You can unlock access to thousands of streamable documentaries and nonfiction TV shows on history, nature, science, food, technology, travel, and more with CuriosityStream. You can refine your content consumption with 35 curated collections handpicked by the team of experts at CuriosityStream. You can tune into award-winning exclusives and originals featuring Sir David Attenborough, Stephen Hawking, Nick Offerman, and Chris Hadfield. CuriosityStream works on just about every device, anytime, anywhere. I decided what to pick. They have a new feature on now. If you want a continuous stream of documentaries. That's like documentary. That's like real life overload. You can get an entire year of streaming just for $14.99 when you sign up using our code Binge-Watchers. It's also displaying on the bottom of the screen there. We figured out how to click a button on our live stream that would show you the links we're talking about. Technology. Wow.
Amazing.
CuriosityStream.com/Binge-Watchers. Get started today. And Dave found something about a castle. Dave, what is the documentary about the castle that just sucked you in? Got you curious about the stream.
Well, it was called like How to Build a Castle, and it was about this team of people. I forget the country, somewhere Eastern Europe, we'll say, that have been building a castle by hand with old school tools since 1998, and they project it's going to take 25 years because they're doing it the old school way. So like they're building kilns, and this is not what this episode is about, but it was actually a pretty fascinating documentary.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
whoa, where are we going today?
Right. So it's a riveting thing to watch on CuriosityStream. That's basically what I was trying to ask, because it's something exciting to watch on CuriosityStream.
Yeah.
But yeah,
anybody else weigh in on that?
Can weigh in on CuriosityStream? We're building a castle that's going to take 25 years. Okay, building a castle for 25 years seems like a waste of time. But watching the process, okay? Watching the process seems fascinating. But actually building a castle for 25 years.
I love you to tell them you're wasting your life.
These poor people.
Could you imagine hosting the Q&A panel with the filmmakers or the castle builders? Like, okay, now we bring it over, Ramsey. What do you got? These 9 people have wasted their lives for 25 years. Hi, I'm John. I'll be your host for the evening. You know what I mean?
Poor people.
Oh, God.
Like, we were young men when we started this, and they're, that would be crazy. That'd be one hell of a time lapse, though.
I mean, are they afraid that like they're going to get invaded by Mongol hordes and then they're going to have to build a wall around the castle?
They build a moat.
I just realized everybody who was supposed to build the wall is now unemployed, right? Everybody who's supposed to build the wall around our country is now unemployed.
I guess so,
That's a whole different thing. We'll sidetrack the whole episode, but okay. Let's see. Oh, favorite bits. We're on to the favorite bits already. See, this is fast moving again. How much can you say about this?
Man,
movie?
I wanted to talk about CuriosityStream.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's get curious, Adam. Let's get curious. Let's get curious for a minute. Go ahead.
I was super curious.
I'm curious.
And I'm excited about CuriosityStream, and I was on there, and I was watching a really cool documentary on algorithms, and immediately it tells you some magic tricks, and it got me to understand how some of the magicians on stage perform card tricks in an interesting way. So and it also helped me figure out how to tile a floor. And I was like, whoa, I'm already learning crazy stuff. So algorithms on CuriosityStream is something I could recommend. Super fun. Like immediately stuff you could use.
I like it.
All right, whatever, John. I can get you to eat a hot pepper.
John is asleep?
I can get you to eat a hot pepper.
Oh, man.
Where's your curiosity streak? I mean,
They need to put like Guy Fieri on one of their shows or something to get me perked in there,
oh my gosh. Favorite
bits, guys.
scenes.
Okay, favorite bits from this movie, The Hunt for the Wilder People. David, you got some dangerous favorite bits from this movie?
Yeah, a couple. Anytime the crazed CPS worker or social worker, like it took me a while to get on her wavelength, but then like once I was there, I was on board. Her character kind of cracked me up. Just way over her boundaries.
I think
and also
her character's name is Fran. She's played by
she
Rachel
was
Howe.
really good. Yeah.
And then there's the whole bit with where they're in that. Well, they're not in the bunker, but the conspiracy theorist Ray Starby, I think, is the actor's name. He
Psycho
kills me.
Sam.
Yeah, Psycho Sam. Thank you. Of course, that's Ray Starby from I think Flight of the Conchords, another Kiwi.
Also the werewolf in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're werewolves, not werewolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Anything he pops up in, he's one of those actors that even if he's in a crappy movie, he's like the best part of it. Like he was the best part of the Jim Carrey movie Yes Man, if anybody remembers that. But
And Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Nikki Late got some favorite bits from this movie?
I also want to bring up. I love the location. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And just seeing what did you say they called it again? The bush, or what
The
was it?
bush.
Not the bush.
Yeah,
The bush.
The bush, yeah.
The bush. It just looked beautiful.
The
and it makes
bush,
me
the
realize-
bush, the bush, the bush.
Give me the bush.
Yeah.
Different movie I watched last night. Let's forget that part.
Yeah.
But I just
Oh my
love the
gosh.
scenery and the location, and seeing Sam Neill out there was just beautiful. Yeah, and like he said, the lady, the CPA, what would you say, the Child Protection Services lady? Yeah, I loved.
social worker.
I thought she was just amazing. I haven't seen her in anything else. Have you guys?
She was in
I
Thor
haven't.
3. She played the
she was?
enforcer. She was Jeff Goldblum's what is that guy's name? Dude, what is that?
I forgot
guy's
his
name?
character in that. Yeah.
Was she in like heavy makeup or something? Or
Yeah, she's in this big bodysuit of armor, and she's like helping him. She's helping him take out the dudes. She's like his right hand person, and she doesn't like the Valkyrie. Like they have like a rivalry. What was he called? The governor? What was he called? Grand Master. She was the number one enforcer for the Grand Master, played by Jeff Goldblum, which is in the Sicarcia or something. Is that the name of the planet? Sicarcia? It's where the Gladiator Hulk stuff takes place, which they ripped out of the comics from Planet Hulk, I think. And like he's a gladiator in there, helps the Sicarcians overcome the Red Emperor, but they mix that into the Grandmaster stuff, and then like that's Thor 3, you know. What's that one called?
Thor
Ragnarok?
Yeah, Ragnarok. Okay, yeah, that's the best one. And it's also by the director of this movie. I mean, that's why Rachel House is in it, because it's one of his actors. And she actually is a filmmaker. Rachel House is a director. She's a New Zealander as well, and she's made movies, like 3 or 4 movies. Indie stuff, just like this movie. I mean, this is one of I'm gonna butcher his name, and I don't want to. He's one of my favorite directors now, but Taika Waititi, I think. It's hard to say. It's hard
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy, if you're out there. One day we'll maybe get your name right over a beer or something.
Well,
anyway,
interesting.
So I'm getting lost. We're on favorite bits, right? But we were throwing in some history. So we get everybody's favorite bits except for my favorite bit. Is that where we're at?
I think so.
Adam needs to give his as well.
Adam, you got to throw in your favorite bit.
Okay, my favorite bits are the sentimental stuff, but I'm just gonna skip past that because they're just the thing that grounds the movie for me. But the star of this film is Julian Dennison, Ricky Baker, and he's just phenomenal. And when the scene that I particularly like is him seeing something that city kids don't often see, and that's the killing of game. And the scene with him and Bella, where she's got the pig and she's just happily slaughtering it in front of him, is iconic. It's I love the scene. It's like, oh, this is where food comes from, kind of scene. And it's very eye-opening for a young Ricky Baker has never seen anything like that in his entire life, because we're used to seeing fake gore, and then he sees real one in the context of the film. I'm sure they didn't actually slaughter a hog or something or whatever that thing is.
Oh, that blood streak across her face is amazing. Like just.
And she's like so happy. She's like, yeah, we got food, And he's
yeah. Oh man.
That feels like one of those context things. If like you just skewed that a little bit, it would look like a horror movie for a moment.
Right. You could cut a trailer from this film and make it look like, ominous music, and then, blood being streaked, and then to cut to the funeral scene and really make it look like a completely different movie out of context. But I really like that little scene. And I think that's when the movie really tied a knot around my expectations, and held me for the rest of the feature. I mean, I'd already saw things I liked, but right then I was like, whoa, this film is going to do neat things to draw me in. And it's unconventional and it's unusual in many ways. I don't know. That's where I'm at. John, what do you think? What's your favorite bit?
My favorite bits are just watching Sam Neill's character kind of puttering around his barn. He's playing the foster dad. I forgot what his name was in the movie, but
Heck.
what? Oh yeah, Heck.
Heck.
Okay,
Hector.
Okay, Hector. So anyway, he's puttering around. He's got his barn. He's got his little workshop. He goes out, hunts every day or whatever. And I'm like, man, I made a huge mistake. Like, all life is get yourself a little shack, a little barn, and a dog, and go out every day and find your food. Maybe that's it, man. With the bush behind your house,
in the bush,
behind your little hut, you got the bush. You got everything you need. And then if you got a good woman, maybe you have the bush in the bush. I don't know. He loved his wife. I mean, spoiler alert, there's a death in the movie, and it's pretty prominent, and it happens in the beginning. I mean, he's kind of just like a floating log until that happens, because I think his character comes to life after the tragedy, you know what I mean, and then moves on from there. And this is why I pegged it like, yeah, this is a dramedy, it's an indie drama, but this is why I was like pushing back on Adam a little bit in Facebook Messenger, was like, dude, it's your selection for a feel-good movie. It doesn't feel great. The grandma's dead in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. What the hell am I watching here?
Yeah, exactly.
And yet I saw him on more than a few lists, though. So, like, other people agree with Adam, I gotta say.
Yeah.
All I can say, John, is got him.
Gotcha.
But I mean, but let's talk about Bella for a few minutes, or for a moment. I mean, like, the first 18 minutes of this are kind of like the first 10 of Up. It's like the first time I saw this, I didn't see that coming. So, you know, and like I really grown to love that the Aunt Bella for, you know, the first 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden she's gone. Like, crap.
She did such a good job. Yeah. Like, it's sucking us in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I mean, this movie gave me the feels twice. I mean, the other involves an animal. That's all I'll say. But like, you know, like, yeah, I will say for a feel, it does. I will categorize this as a feel good movie, but it made me feel bad really twice in this movie.
The only other thing that I liked was the cameo by Rhys Darby as Psycho Sam, a permanent bushman who lives in the bush, and he literally talks about modern society. Do you guys remember the part where he's like, you have to fill out a form to fill out a form.
Yeah, forms.
Fill out forms.
Yeah. To fill out more forms to get out of filling out of forms.
Yeah. And I was like, what a great analogy for everything. It's so accurate, you know? Like,
yeah.
Man.
I love
what?
Well, there's a bunch of other things to like about this movie. The adventure aspect, the camaraderie, the building of relationships with difficult people. I mean, the bridging of those gaps. Those are the things I attach myself to. There are certain story events that, you know, like a death in the movie might bring you down, and it does. But then its life goes on, and then as soon as you're able to like divorce yourself from the bad things that happen in the movie, then you see the things that make life valuable outside of the film. So for a lot of people, they're probably dealing with loss and dealing with the adventure still continuing. And we're all dealing with the adventure still continuing, even in life. That's why I think it's a feel-good movie, because what do? They take the broken pieces of everything and they put them back together. And here we are, right? Like all of us doing this podcast. I mean, like, I look at this movie and I relate it to life. And that's why I think it's a feel-good movie, because you keep going. And the kid that we're supposed to think is a bad kid because he's been in the system is a loving kid. And he comes around, he brings this old man that's a curmudgeon into his fold, and he becomes his uncle. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's so much here to unpack and to reformulate and apply to your own life. That's why I like the movie. That's why I think it's feel good. That's why I recommended it. So hopefully, I hope that the explanation helps, you know, John, you to see why I thought it was, you know, a feel good movie. I couldn't wait to show it to my mom, and really? I watched it with and I watched it with her, and she loved it too, and I knew she was gonna love it because it's like got all these little slice of life moments in there. It's got that taste of real. It's got that extra sauce on it so that it's not stale. It's never stale. This movie is never stale. great
No.
performances.
Yeah.
It's fun in camera work. It's fun in
mood,
concept,
Yeah.
and it delivers great performances. And I did not expect any of this. It was just on some list, and I was like, oh, I want to see Taika Waititi's another Taika Waititi film. I actually have a reason.
I want to see all the
why-
Diddy films too, Adam.
Oh,
I want to see the Diddy films.
It's a-
Oh,
it's a
sorry.
comedy.
I don't think I heard you correctly in my
What?
earbuds here. I thought you said you want to see all the Diddy films, and I got a little grade school. I went back to junior high.
Oh man, John.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
okay. Well, we can watch Valley of the Super Vixens on another podcast, but
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Look how modest Dave got. He got so quiet. Dave kind of folded his hands and just went like, yes.
No, I'm just listening to the conversation.
Yeah, Dave's
Yeah.
a fan of the podcast. Sometimes he gets quiet. He just likes to listen.
Dave likes listening.
I like to listen.
He's the guy in the corner you have
Oh,
listening to
wait.
it's all done.
I mean, I will say this too is the movie. This is the strength of Taika Waititi is, I mean, if you really break it down, this is kind of an old story in the sense of there's dozens of movies where like some young kid comes into a curmudgeon's life and it kind of changes them for the better and vice versa.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the power of Taika to take that kind of old trope and make something new out of it, because that didn't occur to me the first time I watched it. But I mean, there's an old Steve Martin movie called A Simple Twist of Fate where a young kid comes into his life and changes him for the better. Like it's a story told many times, but
It is
just so fresh.
Is Taika's new movie like the Jojo Rabbit? Is that I have not seen that? Is that along the same lines? I think, or is that Imaginary Friend?
It's similar to this movie. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I'm one of the few outliers. I did not like Jojo Rabbit. I thought it was too maudlin. I think he's a good director, but it's just at the end of the day, I thought it was too maudlin. I can't get into it.
Wow. I almost just muted you, Dave. I almost hit mute the mic on that one.
Because I didn't like
Did
Jojo Rabbit.
you like it, John?
I watched it twice. I tried to crack the code.
Oh, wow.
Like I thought there was something wrong with me, but
Jojo Rabbit's probably his best movie, and I think he won an Oscar for it. So
Script. He got script, right?
yeah, he got like adaptation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
This was adaptation too. This book was called like Wild Pork and Watercress. Is what this movie is based on, some book.
Yeah, I saw that in the credits.
What I kept trying to say was
wonder-
we don't have any. What?
No, I just had something else to relate the film to show that the fine line between this being like a dramedy with comedic, a lot of comedy in it, but a lot of real moments. And if you could draw a contrast between this and like Clint Eastwood's like Gran Torino, where you have like a rough around the edges character that's really like a good guy that's capable of like doing good things. And I just kind of relate these two movies together because you've got like an old guy and he's taken up for a younger kid, and he's like rough around the edges, but they're completely different kinds of stories. Like that one is like serious throughout, right? And the jokes that are told are inside the context of the film, and the jokes that are told in this movie are for our pleasure and enjoyment. So, and another scene I'd like to reference is when they're trying to live in one of those bungalows, one of those sheds or huts, whatever they're called, and he's in there with Ricky, and then the other guys show up, and this is when they first find out that. I don't know how much of I want to spoil it or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a conflict. And it's just such a funny scene because then they have to like stand up to these guys, and it's weird how he made that scene funny, So
Yeah.
I don't know if how much I really want to tell about the scene, but because it reveals the hunt part of the film.
All right. Moving along to our questions from out there. We actually didn't get any fan submits, but that's okay because I've been watching the videos. I think I said it earlier in the episode. I meant to say it in the segment, but I was kind of excited, so I said it already. Our fans seem to like watching the full episodes posted to Facebook, so we've been talking it out and marketing But the marketing department has made it a grand decision. We'll just keep supplying videos, and we'll keep playing around with like formats and layouts and the best way to deliver the videos. I don't really know. But it seems like people are paying attention on Facebook anyway. Your excitement is killing me, guys.
Oh, well,
You know we're supposed to talk.
yeah. What?
Yes.
I'm
Rawr.
shit.
I'm sorry, John. What were you talking about?
I'm talking about what else are the binge watchers watching. We're gonna move right along. We're gonna keep the train of cooking here.
I was thinking of the Jurassic period. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Dangerous. What other things you've been binge watching this week?
Well, keeping in the spirit of feel good, I'll throw out two things. One needs no real endorsement from me, but if you guys have not sat down and watched E.T. for a while, God, that movie really holds up. I'm sorry, I'm watching. It really holds up.
I actually know somebody that's terrified of E.T. and will not watch E.T. Doesn't want it. Cannot see E.T.
We both do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this chick is frightened of E.T.
I don't know, but I watched it on the new ultra high def 4K print of it, and
does it look good,
dude? Up until they it looks like a brand new movie. Up until they show the kids in the '80s style, like that, it was almost jarring because it looks so crisp.
Yeah, Blu-rays in like 4K really do look good.
Wait.
Yeah.
In that version, does ET give the kids beer? Do they still get beer in this one?
Oh yeah, it's the original version. There's still penis breath. There's still guns. But the other
what about the meth deal? Do they still do the drug deal? Or could that completely cut out? Huh?
That was a deleted scene. I don't know. That was a special edition that nobody watches anymore. But the other quick thing I want to throw out, again in the spirit of feel good, I binged a show. I think I have one last episode to watch, but there's a show on Apple TV called Ted Lasso that I've heard a lot about. Finally took the dive on. Jason Sudeikis plays an American football coach who gets brought over to teach a European football or coach a football team or soccer in England. And of course, he's out of his element. He's like a Midwestern, like, oh, shucks, gosh, darn kind of a guy in England. It sounds like a stupid concept, but it wins you over by like the second episode and you kind of roll along with it. And it's a sports show. So of course there's sports feel good moments. Check it out. I've been digging the hell out of it.
But the only way to watch it is Apple TV, though, right? That's like one of their originals or whatever.
Yeah, it's one of their originals. So yeah, like do like I do, just buy it for a month and cancel it and watch it.
You can cancel any time, right?
Yeah, I literally, like, whenever I do it, I purchase the month and then I immediately cancel it and it says, well, you have it for a month. Enjoy. So
wow.
It's like a rental.
Double A, what have you been tuning into besides the movies we've been cranking out here?
I watched the first 2 episodes of Truth Seekers, that new Simon Pegg show, reuniting
paranormal investigators, right? Like
it's about paranormal investigators. I mean, if you like the Shaun of the Dead cast, I mean, it's developing. I don't know if I like it or not yet. Yeah, Nick Frost. Nick Frost is the main character. They're introducing some new ancillary characters, some of which will be familiar. I really like it. So far, I mean, it's developing. You know what I mean? I've only watched 2 episodes, and it seems like a lot of fun.
Well,
see, I'm 2 episodes away from being done for the season, and it's about even about what you're describing. It's that way the whole time. It's really? Kind of, it's not bad. It's just kind of okay.
So it's anticlimactic. It's anticlimactic, right? So just even keel, like what?
I mean, it's just like I was expecting more Shaun of the Dead, and they have very few scenes together, which I don't know. I was hoping for a team up, and they're apart most of the time.
I was hoping for a team up, but it seems like Simon Pegg is only in the show, so the advertisements make you feel like you're going to relive new experiences with these 2 characters interacting with each other in the same way that you saw in Shaun of the Dead. That is not the case. The show is Nick Frost and his the friend he's running around with, who in the film, the show is called Elton John, but not the Elton John. Which is it's funny every time they say his whole name, Elton John, because it's also weird that Malcolm McDowell is in the show. It's neat to see him in the show. Yeah. I don't. The show is episodic, like Mystery of the Week, But there's also like an arc attempted, and it's kind of a short.
But I gotta ask you a question: is it more like X-Files, or is it more like the Sci-Fi Channel's Ghost Hunters, which was like a paranormal investigation show that was on like 4 or 5 years ago? Is it like that, or is it like X-Files?
It's like a higher production value scripted version of Ghost Hunters, but with the like some neat visual effects, like that you might be able to see on like some of the X-Files episodes when they start getting really good at that.
Final question before I kick it over to Nicky Lates to see what's on his playlist. Do you think it's gonna get a season 2, or do you think Amazon's gonna drop it?
I don't think it's gonna get a season 2 based on what I've seen. I mean,
Dave,
I like Dave. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on if people are watching it. I'd say if I were to be green light, I would say let it be. But we'll see how many people watch it. I don't know. I like Nick Frost. He's good on his own, but it's also like I want the scenes where him and Nick or Simon Pegg are together are great. There's just not enough of them. So.
Yeah, they need to come up with a reason for Simon Pegg's character to go around with Nick Frost on the show. And I haven't seen enough to see if that happens. And if it doesn't happen, then it's kind of like I feel cheated a little bit as a viewer, because that's what I was kind of hoping for. So, and Dave, if that those kinds of scenes happen, sounds like. So do they?
Once in a while, like maybe once an episode. I mean, it feels very much like Charlie's Angels. Like, all right, here's your assignment. Go off.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's not why I watched this from the advertisements, because the way they sold it was, Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, and I want to see them together in scenes together, doing things and having adventures. And so the show they sold in the trailer, the several trailers that I saw on social media, which is why I went to go see it. I was like, oh, cool. Like, Shaun of the Dead. I love it. And then, and now we're here, and now I'm hearing like, I don't wonder if I want to continue to watch this or watch something that, like E.T., which you just gave a glowing review of. And I'm remembering E.T. from when I was a kid. And that was the first time I ever felt real dread for a creature that does not exist in the real world.
The only thing I can say about that movie, besides selling a ton of merchandise and a bunch of Disney related rides or fan stuff or whatever, is they probably sold a lot of candy, right? Isn't that the movie that introduced Reese's Pieces to the world?
Oh, dude, I wanted some Reese's Pieces watching that.
That's so funny.
It was years before I even saw Reese's Pieces.
That's too bad. Okay, moving on. Nicky Lates, what else have you watched?
Do you guys remember that short movie that came out a few years called Kung Fury?
Oh yeah.
Oh dude. Yeah. Is that the time travel? He time travels, fights
80s
and,
time travel, and then he goes back.
And the Hasselhoff does the music video. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Hitler. They're going to fight Hitler. Who, if you guys have not seen this movie, Adam, have you seen this?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's only 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Give it a try. Like, there's a hilarious scene where Hitler shoots a gun into a cell phone and then takes out a whole police station. It is just hilarious, and it's all green screen, and it's just so ridiculously fun. I'd highly recommend it.
I would think that the music video is probably better than the movie, and the music video is intended to try to get a feature film done. Like they're trying to raise money for a feature film.
So this thing was so popular that they're actually going to do a feature film, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be in it, and Michael. Yeah, you didn't hear this?
Wow.
No, I hadn't heard about Schwarzenegger.
And Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
What?
They like this movie so much, so I'd totally check it out, guys. Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Kong, like Kong, Kung,
K-U-N-G, and then Fury.
And then F-U-R. Yeah.
I think it's on Netflix. At least it was for
instead of Kung Fu.
Oh, or it's on YouTube. It's for free. It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
you watch it. Yeah.
But watch the music video encapsulates like the whole story, and it's incredible.
But watch the video. Watch the full movie. Trust me. Yeah.
And if you don't have time to watch the full movie, just watch the music video.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. So the movie with Schwarzenegger is going to be called Kung Fury 2, It's weird that the first one is like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a feature.
Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
And it's I'm looking at IMDb now. It says the story will focus on Kung Fury's universe with no real connection to the short movie other than the lead character.
But it's part two, which is weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, what? There's no
sense,
connection here, people. We're just making a movie with the two in the end for the popular internet short film. Like, wow.
I watch.
This thing popped up.
I'm no longer. Hey Dave, I'm no longer borrowing your Disney Plus. I went and got my own Disney Plus.
Oh
my!
Like on Disney, I watched that 1980 U.S. hockey team movie with Kurt Russell, where he plays the coach, plays Coach Herb, and it's called Miracle, right? It's about the 1980 team that beat Russia. And Russia was like the world's top team. Nobody could beat them. Nobody could keep up with them on the ice. It was mostly an endurance thing. Nobody could play 3 whole periods of hockey. And then, like, he trained the U.S. team, but essentially like how the Russian team was playing, and they surprised the hell out of everybody. And well, we took the gold. This is history, folks. I don't think I'm spoiling anything. It's history, right?
It's like one of the most famous hockey games ever.
What's funny about this movie?
I feel like you're spoiling.
No, I'm not. I might spoil Mighty Ducks 2 because I watched Mighty Ducks 2 first, and it came out before Miracle. But guess what? Mighty Ducks 2 is like a mini model of what happened in 1980 with the U.S. team versus Russia, right down to like the stuff that happens at practice, where he keeps them on the ice longer to practice, where he says like, "Who do you play for? Who do you play for?" "I play for Minnesota." "No." And then they keep going, and then he's like, "Who do you play for?" "I play for you, coach. Team USA Hockey. I play for the United States of America." And I go, holy shit. Mighty Ducks 2 stole that from real life, from like the coach was really doing a thing with the kids on the ice in 1980. Like every time they said they played for a city, like, "Oh, I play for Boston." And they're like, "No." And then they had to keep doing their little exercises on the ice, right? Till the one guy's like, "Oh, I'm Rizzo. I play for Team USA." And then you just like, "Oh shit, that felt so good." Team USA, hockey motherfuckers. You guys like that movie? No, not at all, huh?
I haven't seen it.
I like Mighty Ducks.
I remember liking it.
Hockey security motherfuckers.
I've only seen. I mean, at Mighty Ducks 2, I really like. Miracle, I've only seen once, but I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I watched this week. It's kind of a spoiler, but maybe not. Can you guys see that?
Is that a Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Had something to do with this guy. Had something to do with this guy on Mando 2. You know.
You can't spoil it for me. I already watched it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to catch up in this week.
Yeah. And I don't know how we're gonna convince Adam to watch anything that Disney owns.
I'm sorry, I can't hear what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, his microphone just went out. Headset just broke. He can't. He's having internet issues.
Oh my gosh.
We can't really unravel that. We don't have time. Like we could talk about the Disney thing, but it would take too long. So next week, hey Nick, what is our next selection for feel-good movies?
Okay, I got 2 picks, and I want you guys to be a part of it, and you guys help me decide. I have Ferris Bueller's Day Off or Encino Man.
Ooh, damn! You took it to Encino
Is there some good?
That
They
wasn't
both
even
feel
on my
good.
radar. Dude, it wasn't even on my radar, man.
I threw a Jurassic comet at you. Arr!
Have we done it on the show?
I don't think
we
we
did
did.
Son-in-Law.
We did one episode about.
You did
we did
Son-in-Law.
Pauly Shore. No, but before we did Son-in-Law, Son-in-Law was on the feel-good list last year.
You're right.
Our last set of feel-good movies was
not
Son-in-Law.
Encino Man.
But like 2 years ago, two years ago, we did Pauly Shore stuff, and we did mention no. We were talking about Brendan Fraser, and Encino Man came up. We were talking about the Mummy and Brendan Fraser stuff. Damn, Encino Man.
That's a tough call.
Encino Man.
Encino Man knocks all the movies off this list. Like that movie probably makes you feel better than these other movies. Damn.
Encino Man.
Nick,
But that's like
damn
that's
it.
a Sophie's choice though, because Ferris Bueller.
I don't know. Well, I'm sending it to you guys because there's 3 of you guys, so I figured the vote would,
Well,
Yeah.
I think like Ferris Bueller's been in the zeitgeist lately. I don't know why. Maybe it's having an anniversary. It came up on a Lazy Sunday list, We
There's
put
a
up list.
commercial for his best friend, like, and they use the car in the garage
Well,
scene. Yeah.
Cameron.
Did you hear about the guy who played Cameron, Alan Ruck? Did you hear about his plot for if they made a part 2? They were going to make Ferris Bueller part 2. He said
No.
it should be escaping from a retirement home. Like it should be retired Ferris, retired Cameron.
You know what? That could work. That would actually be fun.
I would watch
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of skipping school, they're skipping the retirement home. There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't
Alan
seen
Ruck.
Encino Man
Okay, so we got
since
one
the movie
Encino Man.
theater.
Oh no, you just haven't seen it since. Okay.
No, I haven't seen it since the movie theater.
Adam just dated
wow.
himself on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
He just dated himself.
I saw it in the theater too. It's okay.
I saw it in the theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, everybody's
thought-
dating themselves. John.
No, I saw it in my Pampers. I was a child. I was a small baby child. Guys, I'm only 24. What do you?
Yeah.
Look at this.
If you were 24, you wouldn't even know what Encino Man is.
Yeah, it's true.
What's an Encino Man?
It's a city.
And then you have to get slapped.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Maybe I saw a
Yeah.
reissue years later.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, that's a so. I'm gonna kind of
You
say
can't even say
my
you
vote
saw
goes
it on
towards Ferris.
DVD because that would date you as well. He's like, yeah, I saw the DVD.
I saw it on VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's saying yourself. No, yeah.
Oh, you can also say if you
Laserdisc.
rented it. If you rented the damn thing,
It was
it's
on
Blockbuster,
Laserdisc,
you also
oh,
date
man.
yourself.
I don't even think it was on Laserdisc. I don't know.
Oh,
Nick,
well,
I think
I'm
it's
sure.
unanimous. I don't think Ferris.
You
Bueller
don't know,
makes the
I've
cut.
got
I think,
Laserdisc, trust me.
I think Encino Man is the pick.
I think Encino Man it is then, right, guys?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
we'll be
be.
back next week with freaking.
Yeah. We'll
Encino
wheeze
Man.
the juice next week, you know?
Yeah, we're bringing you the
Wheeze-
juice, the feel
Don't wheeze the
good
juice. Don't wheeze
Yeah,
it.
make sure you get a protein pack, all right? Peanut
Yeah.
butter flavor, right, David? David, right? Peanut butter? Peanut butter, David?
Peanut
On your
butter.
balls, right, David?
No.
You know the protein packs of the juice bars? David always goes for the extra peanut butter. Don't you, David?
Yes.
Tell the truth. Reveal it right here on the podcast. You gotta
Gotta keep some secrets.
Ooh.
Ooh, Dave.
All right, tune in next week where he reveals his obsession with peanut butter. Nick, take us out.
Right, guys, it was fun. It was fun coming back from the Jurassic period. And this is Nikki Lates saying, "Arr, see you later." That was a growl, not an R, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do Christian Slater there at the end. just for, like,
Hey,
a tiny second.
I had a great show. Can't wait for Encino Man next week. I was almost gonna be him, but I did
Oh,
Untamed Heart instead that year. So why not? I should have done it.